RVA Parenting is brought to you by the Children's Hospital of Richmond at VCU.
About a year ago, we shared something very personal here on 12 on Your Side. 12 News Today, news anchor Sarah Bloom shared her daughter's story of surviving a brain injury and how it's shaped and changed her family.
I just love to always see her smile. An organization called Baking Memories for Kids sent them on a once-in-a-lifetime accessible vacation to Disney World, all by selling cookies. And Sarah, we are so fortunate, is here with us tonight in studio to talk about another really magical moment and announcement.
Right.
And bear with me, I promised I wasn't gonna cry. I might, because this was such a special memory for our family when you've been through something really traumatic or hard, and then people come together and give you something so generous. And like, this was the act of so many of you that watch. We didn't just have a trip to Disney, we got to make these beautiful memories. It's the stuff that makes childhoods, it makes parenthoods. Marion rode roller coasters, she rode the Tower of Terror. I think we showed that picture. She had a great time, laughed her butt off the whole way, and we just loved being able to do it together. So here's a moment we enjoyed together. Ridden all day, we had so much fun. And the reality for our family is we just didn't know if we get to do something like this, because planning and executing a trip with a child with disabilities can be hard. It can feel impossible. And that brings us to today. This is a really good story. So many of you saw our story. You decided to buy these cookies from Baking Memories for Kids to support other families like mine. And you blew me away. I promised I wouldn't cry, but you were on my side. You ordered so many cookies that we were able to send another family to Disney. And we were there as they found out.
Oh, Benny!
In Benny's home, there is joy. Joy where many would see a struggle or hardship, and where others might hope for something different. But Benny's family sees differently.
We love our life. We're very, very blessed, and I can't imagine it without Ben.
Hey, Mom, Ben was saying Dad.
He was? That's awesome.
And the direction of Benny's road will always be a little different.
Hi, Ben. Yay!
When he was born, Benny's family learned he had Down syndrome and then meningitis, likely affecting his ability to ever walk or talk.
He probably won't ever be able to do either, so we're preparing for that future. He needs everything done for him.
We're very thankful that he's here.
And despite all the medical appointments, hospital stays, seizures, medical calls, school meetings, accessibility projects for their home, they hold on to hope. Hope that alongside their family, the world will see Benny.
It's really fun to play with. I feel like Ben's really left out. He doesn't get included with much stuff.
We're just so used to making Ben fit into the world.
Right.
He's so worth it. You know, Ben's never going to give anything back to the world that the world values. But the love, the joy.
Benny brings that everywhere, even in the hard times, as he spends hours in therapy learning to stand.
He's doing a great job.
Learning to sit and move on his own, all too appropriately at a therapy center called Hope, which just so happens to be where we went for this very special surprise for Benny and his whole family, thanks to Frank Squio of Baking Memories for Kids.
Today, we are sending you guys on a trip of a lifetime to Disney World, SeaWorld, Universal Studios, Legoland for a whole week so you can ride all the rides with your brother and mom and dad for an entire week.
Wow.
Frank survived cancer and found it was his life's purpose to send families like this one on a trip of a lifetime, to give them a break and to create memories to carry with them. He sent my family, and now he's sending this one because of you.
12 on Your Side and your staff and NBC changed the trajectory for us last year. Very simply, your audience who bought those cookies are the reason why this family is going to get to go on a trip of a lifetime.
I see you do clap, clap.
And while there's magic enough baked into a trip to Disney, what many don't realize is the hope and healing it brings to a family like this. That a lot of trips or vacations are out of the question. The logistics of travel with medical equipment, so daunting.
After having to fight so hard, it's just so, I can't describe what a blessing it is to have something just fall on us, being like, hey, this is good things that are, you're just gonna like get showered.
Benny, would you like your Mickey?
The family will get to stay at an adaptive village, a place that's completely accessible, a world actually designed to meet the needs of people with disabilities like Benny.
Simon has had to make, our older son has had to already, even at age 10, make so many sacrifices for his brother. So getting to give our whole family this gift is amazing, but especially that Simon gets it because of his brother, because it's usually the opposite.
And Disney hosts many, many rides where Benny's wheelchair can go too.
So when y'all picture this trip, like what's the moment you can't wait for?
I would say being able to be on a ride with Ben, because that's never happened. And I think Ben is going to love it. And I think when Simon's right there with Ben and we're all doing it together, that's just something we never get to have. The thought of having a world that fits Ben, I can't even, we get to be a regular family.
Right.
Yeah.
Regular in that the trip fits a family that is different. Just fitting is all the magic they've ever hoped for. And no one does magic better than Disney.
Hey, Disney World! So it's a good moment. The Peaks head to Disney in just a few months. They're planning their trip, and they told me what all of you chose to do to buy these cookies, which I have some with me, that you chose to buy these and support their family, made them feel like our community cares about people with disabilities. It was very meaningful to both their family and mine. So thank you for showing up for Benny. Baking Memories for Kids sent y'all some cookies.
Yay.
Kurt's doing the taste test.
They're good. Have
I'll
one.
take one.
Okay, so this is the main fundraiser for the program. This is how they send these families on this trip, just by selling cookies. This time of year, they're really good, but they say, as sweet as the cookies are, the way the community serves families like ours, that's the sweetest part of all. So if you want to buy some, if you want to know more, I'll make sure I post some of that online.
They are so, so good. Wow. And Sarah, thank you for your transparency.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say too much, but just thank you. And so glad that you can help other families through sharing your story.
And I can't talk because my mouth is full. So you do this tease.
Well, let's send it now over to Megan. We'll
have one
save
for
you
you
some
too.
cookies.
Yeah.
We've got you some.